Hey everybody, welcome to today's edition of our Look for the Helper series, where we hope to keep you informed and inspired by telling stories about what English learners and their teachers are doing during these challenging times. If you'd like to share your story, you can go to bit.ly/ELLhelper. You'll find that link in the top right-hand corner. Today, we talked to our friend Tan Huynh about online learning and what he is doing in Vietnam to support his students who have been out of school for about 8 weeks now. These are English learners. He's at an international school. We answer questions like, what can we learn about online learning from EL educators who have been doing it for over 8 weeks now? We talk about why backwards planning is so important when designing online lessons. We also talk about how we need to find the appropriate balance between synchronous and asynchronous activities and strategies to help promote equity. Again, our guest on that episode, which is also a podcast episode, is Tan Huynh. Tan is a career teacher specializing in language acquisition. He's taught students from 5th to 12th grade in public schools, private boarding schools, and charter schools. Internationally, he's taught in China, Laos, and Vietnam, so he has a really interesting perspective. And he shares his teaching strategies in his blog, Empowering ELLs. You'll find that link in the top right-hand corner. Some really amazing stuff in there. His goal is to support all teachers who are committed to empowering English learners, whether it be in a tweet, a blog post, a book, a training, or of course, over a coffee. And Tan's perspective here, not only as an international teacher, but as somebody who is a huge part of many people's professional learning networks, is really, really important here. So let's talk a little bit about some of the things that we discussed in this podcast episode. Tan highlighted this particular blog post that he's written recently. This is a really, really great resource to find some information about what you need to do to structure online learning, which again, we also talk a lot about sort of in depth in our almost 20-minute or a little over 20-minute episode. But you can find this particular blog post in the top right-hand corner. It's set up really well. There's lots of links here and lots of other information, as well as even a little video. So I'd highly recommend you check that out. Also, something that's happening if you're listening to this today when it's being recorded on Wednesday, March 4th, Virtual, which you may be familiar with, it's an online PD opportunity for teachers of English learners. It happens usually every June. But Tan and Carol Salva and others are making it available now during this challenging time. So I wanted to let everybody know that this is happening tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern Time, 7 o'clock Central. And you can use the link here in the top right-hand corner to join. You'll listen to a keynote from Jana Chavarria from last year and then get prepared to join. And Tan will be co-hosting that along with others. So highly recommend checking that out if you're listening to this today on March 24th. I'm sure it'll be available later. The other thing I wanted to mention is that Tan has appeared on our Highest Aspirations podcast before. He was the last episode of season 2 from June of 2019. He talked about collaborating with classroom teachers. And so you can check that out as well. I also wanted to mention that yesterday I highlighted a podcast episode on our Look for the Helper series with Vanessa Colon, which has been pretty popular. She talks a lot about what she's doing in her school, which is a little bit ahead of the curve when it comes to online learning. And there's a lot that you can learn and take from that. If you do want to listen to Tan's episode, that will be up by the time I post this video. So you'll find that link in the top right-hand corner. That's about a 22-minute podcast episode. And we encourage you to please share these resources, let folks know about what we're doing and what others are doing so that we can get through this difficult time together. Again, if you want to reach out to us and share your story, it's bit.ly/ELLhelper, and you'll see that at the end of this video. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you very soon on our next edition of the Look for the Helper series.